I'm so excited about today's video because I want to share with you exactly how much money I'm making from my investments. And I built this small little empire of money soldiers that work super hard for me 24/7, bit by bit, dollar at a time, $100 at a time. And my goal is to have enough passive income to never run out for the rest of my life. And I want to do all this before I hit the age of 35. Now, I'm not there yet, but maybe I'll get there sooner. But the best part about all of this is that regardless if you're on a budget or not, anyone can do this. Now, I try to make videos about investing in the stock market and passive income, and if you've never seen my videos, then welcome. And if you've seen my videos before, then this may seem really random or repetitive, almost like it's on a perfect loop. Now, I try to make videos about investing in the stock market and passive income, and if you've never seen my videos, then welcome. And if you've seen my videos before, then this may seem really random or repetitive, almost like it's on a perfect loop. Now, I try to make videos about investing and no, I'm kidding with you. I'm not gonna make you watch that all over again. Just wanted to introduce you to my two other twins and to remind you that we're still living in the Matrix a la 2020 style. Let's begin. Pick a stock. Oh, money, you say? That's an interesting one. Okay, I'm sorry you've seen this trick already before, but I love it. Just don't play it back in slow motion, otherwise you still won't know how that was done. Hi, my name is Andrei Jikh. Hope you had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. It was my mom's birthday on July 4th. Firth? What does that even mean? 4th. And I remember as a kid, I used to think that those fireworks were for her. And I still think that. And also, I just got a Discord channel for my Patreon. I'm so excited because we can finally talk about everything stock market, passive income, dividends, Robinhood, and everything in between like Yu-Gi-Oh! But please be patient with me. I'm still learning everything and we're building out a community, but I'm so excited. So to start, I've chosen something called DGI, which if you're not familiar with, stands for Dividend Growth Investing. And basically, companies make so much money, they've essentially run out of ideas on how to create any more products. And even if they had more of our money, they still wouldn't necessarily be more profitable. The downside to this is that they're not going to create the next Tesla or the next product that's going to take the world by storm. But the plus side to this is that because they're so large, profitable, and stable, they can pay us, the investor, a fixed income. You can go to dividend.com, type in the ticker symbol that you want to check, and then it'll show you dividend yield with a number and a percent at the end. Alternatively, you can check with your favorite brokerage investing app. It'll show you the same exact information. But the general rule of thumb is the higher the percent, the more that you'll get paid. But there's a catch, because if you only aim for the highest yielding companies, you'll more than likely end up losing money. Now, personally, I aim for 4% dividend yields because they tend to be more safe, but more than that, totally cool. You just have to be a lot more cautious with. Now, in theory, companies can pay us their dividend forever without ever actually running out of money themselves, but only as long as they are profitable. This is in contrast to bondholders, which hold a promise that somebody will pay them back their money, in contrast to dividend shareholders, which are paid last. That's because dividends are paid at the sole discretion of the board of directors, and at any moment, they can choose to cut their dividend. This recently happened to me with the banks, Bank of Wells Fargo, because interest rates are at 0%, so they're not making much money. And also, Papa Powell and the Federal Reserve told the banks that they may not increase their dividend and they can't use their money to buy back more of their own shares. This also means that their stock prices likely won't be going higher anytime soon. So if you believe that banks are still going to be a big part of our future, banks could represent a good value buying opportunity right now. So in order to avoid losing money from dividend cuts, because no one likes to lose money, I look at the dividend safety score, which is a whole separate service that I pay for, which I'm not going to try to sell you on, but then I'll look at that score and I'll see how safe that dividend is of being cut. Now, if I see a low score, I don't necessarily go and sell the stock right away because I have to figure out exactly why that safety score is low and will it ever come back? Like in the case of Disney, they cut their dividend, but I still held on to that stock because I do think that at some point it will eventually come back. But if we look at another company that I own, which is Ventas, that's a healthcare REIT. Now, REITs, you want to look at something like the FFO or the funds from operations instead of looking at PE ratios or EPS, the earnings per share. And that's because real estate investment trusts have property values that increase in value, they decrease in value, they use tax write-offs to offset their income. There's a lot more of a nuanced way of figuring out how those companies are making money that non-real estate investment trust companies don't really have to deal with. And specifically for REITs, I look for an FFO of 95% or lower. And in the case of Ventas, their FFO was 116%, which is nuts. That means out of all the money that they make, 116% of that goes towards people like me. So instead of bleeding money right out of the company, their board of directors said, off with their head, and they cut the dividend. Now, as an investor, I had two decisions that I was faced with. I could have either sold that stock preemptively before they cut the dividend, and I still would have lost money, or number two, I could have hung on to that stock and waited for the dividend to come back, which is exactly what I did, and time will tell if I made a mistake. I told you this is gonna get complex fast, but let me know in the comments below, is this too fast? Is it too complicated? I remember it was daunting for me when I was trying to learn because I had to reread everything like 300 times, so don't feel too bad if you have to rewatch it several times. I feel your struggle, but there's a lot more ground to cover, so let's keep going. Now, normally with dividend growth investing, I don't only focus on stocks that pay me dividends. I also want to see increased dividends and share prices increasing as well. Think of it like a triple threat, like triple chocolate flavor for people with a sweet tooth for
diabetes.
But the triple threat is dividend increases, dividend payouts, and share price growth, in comparison to growth stocks, which only focus on price growth, which of course they see more of, but that's it. Now, once the dividend is paid to us though, the stock may fall in price by the same amount that we were paid. Other times, nothing happens to the stock price, and other times, the stock price can actually increase. But generally speaking, the stock price will fall by the same amount it was paid to us, and then it'll generally over time recover. Now, once I'm paid, I get a little statement like the one you see on Robinhood on the side right now, and then I take that money and I reinvest it back into more stocks, but not through DRIP, which is the dividend reinvestment plan, which is where as soon as you get paid, you put that same dollar back to work into the same company that paid you. Instead, I'll wait until I have enough money to buy more shares of a different undervalued stock at that time. But if you're young and you don't have much time to deal with all this stuff, then instead, DRIP is an amazing option to look into. You can also avoid paying taxes on dividends if you hold those dividend stocks in a Roth IRA account, because as soon as you get paid those dividends, you have to pay taxes based on your income tax bracket, which for most people isn't a huge deal. The good thing is that you'll save money on taxes, but the bad thing is that you can only shelter $6,000 per year, which for some people may not be enough and they want to invest more than that. But that's why it's generally recommended to max out the Roth IRA first before going to a taxable account option like I have, if you have no more other tax advantaged accounts to take advantage of, if that makes sense. Now, having said all that, let me show you exactly how I'm budget investing, because I want to compare this year's June to last year's June, because we had a lot of dividend cuts, and last year's June, I made $800.24, which is awesome. But then the Llorona happened and scared off a lot of these dividends, and I want to compare, did I do better, worse, or am I about the same? So now let's test the power of dividend investing. So first I want to show you my dividend increases, which remember is one of three things: increases, payouts, and stock price growth. The first one is target for $6, second one is $1 from WP Carry, and the third one is for $6 again from VTI. Now total, that's $13 extra for the year that I get paid, which I know that all happened automatically. But I would tell you that I was gonna be honest 100% no matter the good or the bad I would share with you. And this is the first month in my investing career that my dividend decreases were higher than my dividend increases, which makes sense, but I actually lost $15 from Ventus. Thanks a lot, man. Not playing you from Kingdom Hearts anymore. But that $15, while it doesn't sound like a lot, represents $428 at 3.5% that I just lost, which doesn't feel good, and I suspect that maybe next month it might be even worse, depending on if things improve or not. Now, the second thing I want to look at is price growth. And in the month of June, the stock market gained 1.8%, and my portfolio gained 0.3%, which means I lost on 1.5%, which may not sound like a lot, but that is an enormous amount of money that I didn't get to make. And the reason for that is because I'm really heavy on real estate, financials, and energy, and none of those things are doing well right now. The third thing that I look at is probably one of the most important ones, and I don't blame you if you want to skip right past this point, even though I do this in every one of my videos, but there's only so many Aflac duck jokes I can make about the same companies, so feel free to do that. But this past month of June, I was paid 44 times, which I think is a record for me. And you know what they say, a recycled joke and a paycheck a day keep the unwanted job away. And remember, 1 star means it's expensive to buy the stock right now, and 5 stars means it's a good place to start doing your research. But don't just buy a 5-star stock just because it's 5 stars. It's only just a good place to start. All right, one take rapid fire. Here we go. June 1st, 4 solid payers. They are Wells Fargo, 1530, Granger, 720. Then we have the Aflac Duck for 1960 and Enbridge, 1771. It was a good year. Way to start the day. June 4th is 3, almost as impressive. Unilever, 43.95. Cummins, 393, and Discover Financial Services, 396, which is interesting because I don't have their credit card, but they still pay me because I'm a G, and I don't know what that means. June 5th, it's paid by Pfizer. June 8th, $25.60. Amgen, $16. June 9th, Hanes Brands, $3, and one of my favorites, Johnson & Johnson, $70.70. Then we got June 10th, Otis, $1. Sold that stock because ain't nobody got time for free stocks. I wish Robinhood would include trading stocks, but that's just the Pokemon master in me. Then we got Emerson Electric at $45.50, ExxonMobil hanging in there by a thread, $48.72, Chevron, which is doing better than ExxonMobil at $86.43, Target, $46.20, Norfolk Southern, $47.94, IBM, $8.15, and X, 4 cents, which I also sold. June 11th, CNP Counterpoint Energy, 1035 from 69 shares. June 12th, MMM, 1470. June 15th, 8 times, one shy of becoming 50 cent again. Lyndell Basel, $2.10. O Realty, 1095. Stag, 6. Mickey D's, 1250. IP, 205. Polaris, 1240. Cullen Frost, Bank, 781. And Key, 1.8. June 16th, Duke Energy, $8.51. June 17th, Lind, $9.63. I had a subscriber say they worked for them, which is pretty cool. Then we got June 18th, Raytheon Technologies at $4.75. Prospect Capital, 18 pennies. June 19th, Flow, $42. BP Oil, $43.75. June 22nd, 3 dividends from Shell, $20.80, VF, $24, and D Dominion Energy, $9.40. June 24th, Shallow Hal, 9 pennies. Qualcomm, 13. June 27th, I got paid from an orc, 6 pennies, because they're really frugal. I remember that from Skyrim. June 30th, Union Pacific, $30. CH Robinson, $3.06. And that is all of it, and I've got cotton mouth. One take wonder. Now this past month of June, the grand total was $824.50. Pause for just a second. I got paid almost $1,000 to just breathe and do nothing. There are some people around the world that are doing academic work that get paid less than half of that. I know because I've got relatives in Russia that are naval engineers that get paid less than half of that. So that may not sound like a lot, that is a lot of money in different parts of the world. Now in comparison to last year's June, I was paid $800.24. That's a $24 difference or 3%, which is amazing considering the economy right now. When I was predicting this last month, I actually thought this month I was gonna make less, but I didn't, and that is why I love dividend growth investing so much. Also this past month of June, I had 3 stock purchases. They were all on Patreon, and they are as follows. 50 shares of SPHD at $33.24 for a grand total of $1,661.43. I love SPHD because it's a monthly payer, but I also want to own more VYM, which is Vanguard's high dividend yield ETF. This adds $88.05 to my annual income. The second stock I bought was 20 shares of Philip Morris at exactly $71.69 for a grand total of $1,433.80. Bad for your health to smoke, but it's good for my wallet, so I'm in a little bit of a pickle here because I really want to add more to this position because it's got a pretty safe dividend safety score, good growth, and already a high dividend yield. The third stock I purchased is Medtronic, 17 shares at $91.22 for a grand total of $1,550.48. Get this, dividend safety score of 99, which means their dividend is not going anywhere with 43 years of consecutive dividend raises, but overall it would add $39.38 to my annual income. Now all of these purchases will get plugged into my handy dandy spreadsheet, which I will leave a link down below for my Patreon. No one sponsors my videos, so I gotta sponsor my very own, but it's really cool because it tells me exactly when I'm gonna get paid, how much I get paid, my diversity, and a few other cool features, plus a bag of chips. I made that last part up. You're not gonna get a bag of chips, but it's really cool because it tells me the annual income that I've added overall is $220.97, which is awesome. But if you've got $100 to invest right now, you can get started with even far less with something called fractional shares. Now, you don't have to use Robinhood for this, but most brokerages already have and have had this feature available for a long time. But if you want to use Robinhood, you can check by going to trade, and then if you hit buy, and in the upper right-hand corner, you can select buy in dollars, and you can put in as little as you want, as little as $1, $10, $100. And the best part about this is that you can buy $100 of this stock in question right here. And if you buy it, it'll give you a fraction of that share, but you'll still collect a fraction of the dividends in proportion to however much you own. And I think that's a super cool way to get started. Better yet, you can get started with 2 free stocks from Webull, but make sure to fund your account $100 and you'll get a free stock valued up to $1,400 in value. You get another free stock from Robinhood, and that's 3 free stocks to get you started. Love you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you back here on Monday and Friday. I post on my Instagram from time to time. Of course, join my Discord channel. We can all chat. Love you again. Stay safe, stay kind, stay legend. Wait for it. Dairy. Bye-bye.